Buongiorno a tutti, io sono
Good
Sara
morning, good
Raccobelli.
afternoon. My name is Sara Raccobelli, and I'm an industrial research at Transactiva. I'm here to introduce Transactiva and its services. First of all, Transactiva is a company based on research on and development on biotechnologies. We are an innovative small company, and we are based in Udine. We are part of the Net 4.1, and we also have investments from other companies. We actually implement research on biopharmaceuticals, that is, medical drugs produced using biotechnologies. They have completely changed the healthcare system, and previously untreatable conditions can now be treated, but they have huge limits resulting from their production methods, and because they actually are implemented in huge bioreactors, and this makes it very expensive, and in turn, it also limits access to patients who might benefit from that. Transactiva mission is that of replacing the old production system based on a standard bioreactors. They are huge, expensive, and based on mammal cells, replacing them with a greener and more sustainable system, the plant molecular farming. On the right hand side, you can see a picture. Here we have many rice plants growing in a greenhouse. You can actually figure out the difference between the technologies. But what is the plant molecular farming and its advantages? Mainly, we use plants instead of animal cells, and therefore we have an advantage in terms of biosafety because there are no pathogenic species that can be hosted by plants, and therefore there's no risk of losing products batches. There's also scalability because the nature of plants is modular. One plant is one bioreactor, and this is all very scalable. It is also environmentally friendly because it is a natural carbon fixation source, and it enables waste valorization, and it is perfectly in line with the circular economy approach. And I wish to underline that there's a huge reduction in spending for the upstream cost for biopharmaceuticals. These are advantages that were common for the use of plants, but there are also specific advantages depending on the technologies that is used. Transactiva uses three different technologies. Vegetal technology. One is based on the stable transformation of rice plants, and one is based on a temporary transformation of tobacco leaves, and the other it is based on a vegetal cell bioreactor. The first strategy has advantages in terms of stability and long-term storage that can actually remain in the rice seeds until it is needed, and rice seeds are ideal for a segmenting system, and it is actually like a cell bank. There's a compliance here. And for as for purification, this is quite system because the environment in the seed is naturally with low content of lipids and phenolic compounds that may affect the purification process. The second technology is based on a transitory temporary transformation of tobacco leaves, has the advantage of being fast because production can takes weeks, and it is very appropriate in case of healthcare crisis like the crisis we are going through. It is very flexible because a production plant can switch to one agent to the other without big investment, and it is not a transformation technology on a steady basis. So the plant is not affected. The third strategy is the use of um, fermenters, and they have vegetable cells instead of animal cells, and this the advantage is that it is similar to an existing technology which is used by large pharmaceutical company, and they are familiar with this kind of strategies which is more GMP aligned. Having said that, Transactiva offers a full set of R&D services in the molecular pharmacy with the technologies that I have just outlined, though our traditional technologies where we have most expertise is the production of rice plants and production lines based on rice seeds. What's our pipeline? What do we do? We work up to the proof of concept. So the product is scalable and can be licensed to customers, in this case, mid-size or large pharma companies. So we start from the definition of a target protein that we usually our partner selects the agent, and usually it is, of course, that there's a strong therapeutical interest like enzymes or etc. But we can also produce complex proteins. From the definition of the protein, we get to the DNA optimization and the handling. So we integrate the protein into a vector for the codification of the protein in the vegetal system, and this is optimized depending on the vegetal system that is applied. And we introduce the information into the plant, the actual transformation in case of the rice, and the regeneration of rice plants that are transformed because the protein is accumulated in the rice seeds. So there's a process of regeneration and selection of process, and so we obtain a line resulting into a seed banking, and this is implemented in a bioreactor cultivation accord and farming system in line with European standards. And this is absolutely ideal for the production of pharmaceutical ingredients. The bioreactor grows in our greenhouses, and seeds are collected and processed in a plant, and the external layers are taken off, and they are actually packaged on a and of course, these packages are absolutely dramatically different from the rice we find in supermarkets. And we also offer other services. We It is a secondary system, and we offer a preliminary purification and characterization service, and that can be used for an industrial scaling up. And we also use an optimization system for the characterization of the protein, and this is done both in vitro and in vivo, just to focus on the fact that the plant produces the target protein, but it also there's an active production with other qualities as well. We are very familiar with our regulatory framework. We are compliant with the European regulations, especially the guidelines on the production of agents in transgenic plants, and on the actually requirements of farming systems and Our lines are also protected by patents on the method, and these two patents have already been approved. Other are in the process of being approved. Our business model is based on the actual cycle from the idea to a prototype, which can be immediately used for pharmaceutical purposes. Of course, this is all patented, and the technology is licensed to a pharmaceutical company. And after that, our role can be the producer of green biomass, and the pharmaceutical company will process that material into the final drug. Besides this, which is our standard services, we are also implementing some independent projects. For instance, this is one of our main projects, the production in rice plants of a monoclonal antibody for the treatment of a number of autoimmune diseases. We have already established a seed banking system for our production line. We have characterized the in vitro and in vivo agents, showing a good compatibility with the actual equivalent. We are also development together with the University of Trieste and the San Gallicano Institute a new delivery strategy. Currently, we are finalizing the proof of concept, and we are implementing a new we are also working on new intellectual properties besides the patents that we already have, and we are actually filing a designation application, an IP application at EMA. So we are looking for strategic partners wishing to support us because we are in the preclinical phase. Another interesting project is the production of vaccines, antiviral vaccines, and of course, in this case, COVID, but the platform can be adapted for the production of any vaccine. And this is also based on the temporary transformation of tobacco leaves. And the aim of this project is to build a green platform to produce vaccines in adequate quantities for the global market in a short time. We are working with the ICGB and the University of Trieste and the University of Rome, and we are at the beginning, and we are looking for investors. We've had the first feedbacks because the production of vaccines based on GLP, like viral parts, is successful for tobacco leaves. So we are at the characterization phase. At the moment, we are looking for investors, but these investors must be used to work in the biotechnologies, so they must be aware of the time, high risk and high rewards, and the time to market, because the time to market is higher than in the other sectors. And we are looking for strategic industrial partners, both small and medium-sized enterprises wishing to enter the circular economy and looking for increase in value, not only profits. And these could be our preferential customers, but we also are looking for SMEs with complementary expertise to form sound partnerships and implement our projects also in local procurement procedures or international procedures. We want to file our request for Horizon Europe. Thank you for your attention. I hope I have given you a clear overview of the Transactiva services, but please do not hesitate to get in touch with us, and we will be glad to give you more information and to show you how green technologies work.